For those of you not familiar with Roll20, you can click on your token and actually use arrow keys to move around if you like. It sometimes helps if you're like in combat and such to make it easier to move.
Do I still get access to the Dungeoneering or Explorers pack?
Yes, you do have a pack that you can pick from.
Alright, I'll be taking the Dungeoneering pack.
Do you know how the movement thing works? Because it's not working for me.
Who's speaking again? Remember, I don't recognize your voices yet, so I don't know offhand which character goes to which voice.
Sorry, this is Randy.
Excellent. Don't worry, after a few sessions I will recognize your voices. It's just that for now I don't know it.
That's alright.
Okay, it's definitely assigned to you. Have you clicked on your character and see, like, the little bar around it at the moment?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's weird.
I mean, I can move it like this.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, so I guess it's not working right now. Huh. Alright, well, as long as you can move your character somehow, it works.
Yeah.
Good. So if everybody's their tokens set up the way I like them.
Yes.
Showing the health bar for everybody, which is good. 2 people with the highest health, Kitty and Randy. Lowest health goes to Fulgar, which makes sense because it's the Sorcerer.
Squishy.
And best AC goes to Kitty, which makes sense. She's the fighter. So, you guys wish to do a little getting to know each other roleplay?
Sure.
All right. So, before the real game starts, we open in an inn pretty much by itself. It has a nice set of stables next to it, but nothing else of interest. No real town, no village. Pretty much anybody who works there at the inn lives there in like one of the rooms. Travelers come to and from caravans resupplying this inn, come by every other day. They have their own chicken coop, stuff like that. Basically, they're fairly sufficient. Oh, that's always a cool movement, Kitty. And most of you have just wandered in here along the road on your way somewhere. One of you, Randy, is actually working at this inn and has been for a little while now.
Oh, sorry, I missed that last part.
One of you, Randy, is actually working at this inn and has been for a little while now. None of you know each other.
Yeah, I got it.
And we're just complete strangers. Just the odd, potentially interesting stranger that's coming in, sitting at the tavern, in the tavern section of the inn, to eat a meal before retiring to their room for the evening. So who would like to start us out?
So is everybody already inside? No one's entering so far?
Correct. Everybody's just pretty much gotten inside to get to their tables and everything like that.
Yeah, I've got my like a hood up, not to expose too many of my features. I'm just in a corner sipping on a mug of ale, like observing the crowd.
Davos? Kitty?
I am pretty much ignoring everyone and drinking away my pay.
I imagine Kitty looks a
I'll
lot
look
like
for I'll look for a job when I'm done. When I've run out of gold.
I imagine Kitty looks a lot like her token. And Davos, are you here yet? Okay, Randy then. Since you've been working at this bar, pretty much just breaking up any fights that happen, you also get a sense of people, and you can see at least that Kitty is definitely someone that you wouldn't necessarily want to mess with because she's both strong and clearly has a bit of a drinking problem at the moment. And
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm just kind of at the corner of the tavern working on a little box, and sometimes it makes a little explosion sound. I'm just thinking around, and when somebody comes nearby, I don't let them see what I'm working on. I kind of hide it.
And Randy, that's also what you would notice at this point. There's a guy.
Yes, I'm a bit interested in what he's doing over there. Oh, I think I want to go check it out.
I'm gonna observe in my corner from there.
So at the moment, this what was it?
I'm trying to move my character. Working.
Yeah, if you just want to pretend that your characters are in kind of a position, since this is mostly just a talking exercise, there's no reason to actually put a thing there. Yeah, we see a mountain dwarf. Let's see, Davos, you see a mountain dwarf approaching you.
I try to hide the box from him. Is he still approaching?
Can I make an investigation check?
Of course.
What's the how do I do the modifier on the roll thing?
You go to your character sheet. There should be a let's see, investigation. Let's see, here, there it is, investigation. Just click on investigation, and it'll automatically roll to me.
And where's this?
On your character sheet. It should be on your skills list.
Yeah, hold on.
That out.
Oh, there we go. Got it.
You can't tell anything about that. As far as you know, he's got nothing there. He's just kind of playing with something.
All right. Well, I'm not going to do anything else, but I'm going to watch him warily.
Do I know he works here?
Yes, you would have seen him on your way in, so you definitely know he works there.
Then I ask him for a beer. Hey, can you bring me a beer? I'm thirsty.
I said, I'm actually the bouncer here. I'm not the bartender.
You can see that there's a bartender over towards Kitty's side of the bar. Assuming that Kitty's at the bar. Kitty, are you sitting at the bar or are you sitting at a table?
Oh no, I'd be at the bar.
That's what I thought. But you see a bartender over by Kitty's side, just pouring her drinks, and pretty much not seeming to notice the rest of her customers at this time. She's just set another frosty ale in front of Kitty.
And it's just us in there. There's nobody else.
There are other people just around, but nobody else that looks interesting. They're kind of like in small groups talking to each other. There's probably other people asleep upstairs in the inn.
I keep shifting my gaze around, kind of like sizing people up.
Yeah, you don't see anything else odd except maybe the guy in the hood over in the corner there. That'd be Fulgar. Oh no, wait, that was Fulgar talking, wasn't it? Well, if that's the case, they're pretty much the same. You just see Davos playing with something and being harassed by a mountain dwarf. So, like I said, it's going to take me a little bit to get used to who's saying who's actually talking. So I apologize.
Who's up right now?
Fulgar, were you saying something? I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, then Randy, like I said, Davos doesn't. You can't really tell what Davos is playing with there. Davos, you see the bartender is not Randy, but you see that the bartender is standing in front of Kitty, pouring her a tall frosty ale. And she's not paying any attention to you whatsoever, the bartender.
I'm a little gnome. I forgot to tell you guys, I'm a rock gnome, so I'm not a human or a dwarf. I call the bartender and say, "Hey, bartender, could you serve me some ale, please? You're just paying attention to that woman. She has a lot to drink already."
The bartender straightens, smoothing down her apron, and glances over at you. She's a human. She looks like she maybe had some elf blood a few generations back with her luminous green eyes. I'm sorry, sir. She quickly turns around to the ale cask and starts pouring out basically a drink that's half the size of what Kitty was given to bring over to Davos.
I ask her, "Is there, do you need any fix on the tavern? I'm a locksmith, and if I can fix any of your doors, I would be happy to accept the payment as beer and food."
Well, I guess I can talk to the owners about that.
Could you please tell this dwarf to leave me alone?
All right, I'm gonna go patrol around the other side of the bar.
Okay. Kitty, do you wish to say something?
Once she's finished her most recent beer, she would kind of get up and like saunter over to the table where the gnome is sitting and kind of look down at him and be like, "So who are you that gets to decide how much I'm supposed to drink?"
Calm down there. I saw a lot of drunks while I travel. You can drink how much you want. I just want you to drink some too, okay?
She doesn't really back off. She kind of like was annoyed by your little box, and she's like, "So what's that? You gonna blow this place up?"
What's what? I kind of take the box and put it on my backpack.
At this point, I'm gonna walk over and say, "Is everything all right over here?"
Like, do I see him put that box into his backpack?
1 second.
Can I make a slide of hand checks so nobody can see?
Yes, you can. And anybody who wants to, nobody's passive would really notice that except Kitty, who's staring right at him. So if you want to see that, please roll a check. See, it's not spot in 5th edition. It's
A perception?
It's wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Rock, you do not see anything. And neither does Daniel.
I mean, my passive perception is 15. I mean, I would assume that I would just use that.
Yeah, you're because
Since
you're also
I'm staring
looking,
right at him.
You're staring right at him, so you saw it. You saw him do that anyway. Unless it gets to like a huge sleight of hand check, which he hasn't rolled yet.
I mean, I guess he'd roll and see. Okay, I guess he does beat my passive.
Ooh. Yes, you did defeat your passive. He managed to distract you while he was talking to you, so you didn't actually. Nobody saw him put away the box. You just noticed suddenly that he's no longer holding the box, and you're sure you saw him have a box earlier.
I'll be right back. Just give me a second.
All right.
In the meantime, I'm just still sitting and observing everything.
Okay.
I asked the two if everything's all right over here, and seeing if they're going to start anything.
We're fine, Dwarf. Thank you.
Yeah, Kitty would just laugh because like she's like, there's no point in starting anything. It would be over before it even began.
Can I make
I think Kitty's right because she just is a little fat gnome, just sitting and tinkering with a box, and he wears no armor, and apparently you don't see a weapon. So,
Randy? What were you saying?
I was gonna say, can I make a check to see if I noticed that the box is gone now?
You would see that the box is no longer in view, but you never saw him put it away.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask, where is it?
Dwarf, you wanna know about my box? How about we make a deal? You pay me for it. I'll sell it to you, but you don't know what it does.
How much are you asking for it?
2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces? I can pay that.
All right, I'm back.
All right, I'll buy it.
Welcome back. You see that the dwarf and the gnome are immersed in a bit of commerce.
I hand them the box. It's a fire starter. It's a tinker racial thing. It's just a box that starts a fire, a little fire. So you can put it on whatever you want.
All right.
Oh no.
And that's like the most overpriced fire starter you ever bought, Rain. Thank you, Dwarf. It was nice doing business with you. I kind of take his coin and put it in my pocket and give him the box.
Awesome. This is super exciting. I love fire. So, thank you, No.
And everybody heard Randy say that. But Randy loves fire.
I sent the description of the fire starter in the chat.
Excellent.
I'm gonna take my cup of ale. I'm gonna move over to the bar, like maybe like one seat. Like, did Kiki move back to the bar? Or?
She's kind of still standing there eyeing the box suspiciously because she's a little paranoid about it. So she hasn't made her way back to the bar yet, but...
Alright, well, like, I'd be sitting like one seat separate from where she was sitting, if that makes sense. And the barmaid's back behind the bar at this point.
Is there anything else your characters would like to interact with each other before you retire to bed for the evening?
Well, I was gonna go over to the barmaid and ask her, I was gonna go, what's the rumors around town? Anything weird happening?
She shrugs. Yeah, I don't know. It's so quiet out here. I wish there was a town. That the nearest town is, she kind of quotes a distance that would be nearly a day's ride.
Oh.
That's why they put this place here. Unfortunately, those of us who work here, it's kind of difficult to go and do anything else. Almost like prisoners. She kind of sighs. But then she is, oh, what would you like to order, sir?
Push my cup. A refill?
All right. She pours in a bit of ale.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to wonder, like my gold coins I could have, like, since they're, let's say, instead of, because they're worth 1 gold piece, I put like 5 silvers down.
Alright.
I'm gonna wait to get drunk, and I'm expecting that's gonna be very soon.
So pretty much everybody except for Randy's, except maybe Randy, if Randy does drinking after work, is going to go to bed drunk or attempting to get drunk. Is that what I'm hearing here?
Yeah, well, it's the end of my shift right now, so I'm going to sit down at the bar and start drinking as well. So.
Yeah, Kitty would probably return to the bar and continue to get sloshed because that's just her MO.
Alright. In a bit, we're going to end up with a little bit of railroading, simply because it will be the only way to get the game moving. But I will allow for a little bit of role play prior to that, after the following events. Each of you has retired to your Each of you has retired to your separate room for the night. Randy, you're kind of in your tiny little bunk area with some of the other workers, with your things in a foot walker, probably stuck in a pack, just in case you decide you want to get up and go. Everyone else, if you're in your bed clothes, you're wearing that. If you're, just go to sleep in your regular clothes, if you go to sleep naked, that's all on you.
I'd probably be like sleeping, like kind of like in the barn with the horses, all my clothes on.
I've already decided you can't be in the barn. You'll know why in a second. Okay. You managed to secure yourself a little room for the night. The reason why you can't be in the barn is because you'd probably be dead right now if you were. Sometime in the middle of the night, the barn has gone up in flames. In fact, you wake up. Each of you wakes up from the cries of alarm from various other people in the inn, and you start feeling. You basically start feeling a slight increase to heat, because it was a cool evening before that. Now it kind of feels like it's getting towards summer, even though it's like early spring, and it's like you feel this. Sorry, and you got this smell in the back of your catching in the back of your throat and all through your nose of just campfire gone wrong. Those of you who might be on the side of the inn that faces the stables would see a large red glow at this point. Which means pretty much anybody but Randy, since Randy would be in a windowless little room. But he would be hearing the shouts and cries of random guests.
So Davos is thinking like, why did I sell that fire starter to the dwarf? And he starts packing up his things.
Now, each of you managed to get out of the inn safely as the inn starts to catch fire. You each managed to grab your clothes, if you weren't already wearing them, and your travel pack, even Randy from inside his footlocker. And you're now along with the rest of the guests and staff, gathered outside, basically watching everything burn around you. People are just, holding each other, going, "What are we gonna do? Our livelihood was in that barn." Because they would have parked their caravans if they were like traders and such inside the barn, and now the barn is completely gone, and the inn's catching too.
Is the inn's catching?
Yep, the inn is also on fire. There are plumes of smoke going all the way up in the sky. Even if it wasn't in the middle of the night, it would be pitch black.
Did anybody save any of the alcohol?
I'd like to run inside and make sure I get my last paycheck.
Apparently, there's nobody in. Sorry. Apparently, the fire has caught the door, and there's now flames everywhere. You would not be able to get inside anymore. You're lucky to have gotten away with your clothes and your go bag.
All right.
I'm kind of disappointed, and I'm almost thinking about complaining to the manager that I want my money back. Because it's in the middle of the night, and I'm like in the streets.
The opinion that I kind of understand shit is hitting the fan for the manager, and I'm not going to complain.
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk down the road.
Okay. Kitty, what were you saying?
So yeah, Kitty looks really disgruntled from being woken up. She kind of looks for the dwarf and says to him, "You had to try out that new toy you bought last night, huh?"
I'm gonna say I didn't. I played with it in my room, but I was nowhere near close enough to the barn to start that fire.
Right. Fulgar starts like pacing in front of the building, trying to see if there's like anybody still trapped in the building who might need help. See if like everybody got out or something.
As far as you can tell, everyone managed to get out alive. It was just the poor horses and other mounts that have been gone up in smoke.
Aren't we trying? Is there anybody trying to put out the fire, like with buckets of water or anything?
Unfortunately, the well is also surrounded by fire at the moment, and they can't get to it. They're kind of stuck.
Does anybody know any magic that can counteract fire?
I only have magic that starts fire.
I could blow on it a little.
I don't know. Would a thunder wave be able to push flames out?
Probably not.
No. I thought it would more fan flames to begin with, so yeah, I'm not going to do that.
So after an untold amount of time, which is likely just a few minutes, of you all standing out there watching the last of the stables burn, watching the inn start to burn down, you hear the sound of horse beats and the clear sound of wagon wheels coming up the road.
I'm going to sense a threat. Can I do like a perception check to see if it's like someone with ill intent?
You can do a perception check to tell who's coming up the road. Yes.
All right, hold on.
Kitty is just kind of glaring at the two little people, like, because in her mind, they're the ones behind this, because one was making fireboxes and the other one was buying fireboxes.
It's not me, I swear.
All right, Daniel. As you stay down the road, you see that there is a caravan of wagons coming up the pass. In the lead are sitting on the front of the caravan with some draft horses is some rather garishly dressed men. They actually stop as the fire continues to ravage the inn and look down at everybody. "What seems to have happened here?" one of them says.
"Are you blind? It's on fire."
"Well, that's clear," the other one laughs. No, no, no. I was saying, was the inn attacked? I've never seen such damage on this place before. We've passed it frequently.
I really don't know. I was just sleeping.
Well,
Somebody was playing with fire and won't fess up to it.
Again, it's not me that started this fire. I want to ask these two.
Somebody dwarf was playing with fire.
Nope, not me. I want to ask these two whether or not they know what might have happened here.
I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
both of them shake their heads. The rest of the caravan behind them is stopped and is waiting for them to move on. We just got here, the one says. Look, if you all need a ride somewhere, considering it doesn't look like there's any safety to be found in this place, we'd be happy to take you to the next town. And GM says that pretty much this is the only way you're going to get anywhere in this game.
Well, Kitty would agree. She'd just be like, well, it doesn't look like anybody's going to have any money to pay me anyway, so might as well move on.
I want to make an insight check on them to see how truthful they are, how, like, if they plan a shady deal behind that or not.
Alright. As far as you know, they're just random strangers that have wandered up this road and are offering you safety.
Alright, then I'll take it.
There's a bunch of wagons, various people that from this burning inn start collecting in the other parts of the caravan. The four of you, however, are now in the first of these wagons together.
While we're going to the wagon, I kind of start working on a new fire starter, a new firebox.
You gonna burn the wagon down too?
I'm not gonna burn the wagon. The dwarf's gonna burn the wagon.
As soon as you're all inside with the curtains drawn out over the back of this wagon, basically blocking your view from the outside and making it nice and dark in there, except for one oil lamp that's giving you enough to see each other. The wagons start off again. You can hear the clipping and clapping of the draft horses. You can feel the wagon wheels turning. Let's see. Smell-wise, it just kind of smells homey. Little bits of cooking smells here and there. Maybe a little incense. And of course the smell of the oil plus, the smoke from the fire that you just came from. But is now basically overwhelming what was the natural scent of this wagon. But it's dark in here. The road sounds are actually kind of soothing. It's very easy to fall back asleep since your night was interrupted. Though you kind of have to sleep next, curled up against each other, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, now that they're up close, they'll notice that even my skin is pale white, like snow white. It shows demeanor that I'm not exactly human. But I still have my hood up and everything.
Yeah, Kitty would scrunch herself up against one wall and try to avoid the rest of you as much as possible.
I do the same. Since we're on the same side, we give each other a lot of space.
And the two little folk are sitting on the bench across from you. They've also got enough room because they're both small.
I'm almost thinking of switching with one of them so we have a bit more leg space.
No. I want the most space possible. I want to really spread out here in this carriage. So.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Starfish.
All right. Leave that book there. Reopen this one. And to start off on our adventure. If this was a video game or something like that. Oh, yeah. If, right now I think we'd be playing would be the theme for Skyrim. That'd probably be playing right now. You hear, the...
Are we being taken to be executed?
No.
I have.
Well, at least you hope so.
back on my
But it's a
laptop.
covered wagon, so you don't actually see anything out there unless you were to pull back the cloth back there. And it's several hours before any of you wake up again. And by then, let's see, what do you smell? Hold on. I could have sworn there was a scent listing on here.
Quick question.
All right. Go ahead.
Fulgar, can you describe your character, please?
Yeah.
And Randy too.
The easiest way to describe my character is to look at like my thumbnail because I drew it myself. But basically, he's a character. He's someone who is very like he's dressed up in a dark cloak, kind of, and he would be that background character in any place, and you never really notice him. And he aims for that look. But like you could see from like his hands and his face that he's extremely pale. He's, like I said, snow white, and he has like piercing blue eyes that are like kind of like slit cat-like. And those are about all the features you could tell from him. Maybe you'll see maybe a lock of hair, which also matches the skin of the color of his skin. That'll dangle through the hood, but otherwise, he really like tries to. Like I said, dress up in dark clothes. He has maybe a backpack with a few things in it, but his clothes are ragged. They don't look very high quality either.
And what about Randy? Because I'm imagining him in a little leopard jacket.
Yeah, no, basically I look a lot like what my thumbnail is as well. Not the one for my my profile, but the one that's on the board with the orange and the hat and all that. I really like to dress garishly, and because I was a former wrestler, of course. Definitely really stout, muscular, strong, but you can tell that I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. If I was going to be a tool in the shed, it would probably be like a hammer.
Why am I thinking of a
And
song?
what
you
about
did,
Katie?
Huh?
What?
What'd you say?
What
said,
about Katie?
Katie just posted a picture of herself in there, if you wish to click the link.
Okay.
All right.
I could post a link too.
Got it.
As you guys start to wake up from your naps or, deeper sleep, the first scent that you can detect is scent of damp wood. Kind of like a bog or maybe a marsh, possibly a swamp. But kind of like a damp wood, slightly rotting, just a cool air.
Do I have any idea where I'm going? Or where this caravan is going?
No, they just said they would take you to the next town, which you would assume would be down the road.
I want to look outside the back and see if we've come to a town.
All right. As you pull back the curtain, you see that you seem to be in the middle of a forest of some kind. You can see black pools of water standing like dark mirrors along the roadway, and giant trees are just looming on either side of the road. It is still pretty dark out. Not nighttime, but like a very overcast sky.
Which I'm very used to.
Can I pick up a stick and use my fire starter to turn it into a torch?
You're still inside the wagon. You can't really reach a stick from here.
All right. So we're still moving.
Yes, the caravan hasn't stopped. In fact, behind you, you can see other wagons, other horses, because you're in the lead vehicle. Do you wish to stay in the back there, jump out, try to climb into the front? what do you wish to do?
I want to peek out the front to see if, like, I recognize if we're actually going where we're supposed to.
All right. What's the knowledge checks in 5th edition again? Because I know that in the 3.5 it's just knowledge local and such.
Depends on the type of knowledge. Like, nature would be like...
It could be a survival check because I'm trying to figure out where I am.
Yeah, so if anybody has a knowledge local, that would work.
There's like tracking and like finding food in the wilderness. Maybe like history, I don't know.
I was thinking knowledge local. If you have a knowledge local that you can roll, that would be the one to know if you're on the.
I could roll a straight up intelligence check.
Yeah, you can do that too. I'm just gonna put a random wagon there so that you can just get an idea of where you're at. Something seems off to you about this road. Since you've been down both sides of the normal road, the road itself doesn't look like it's the right material. It seems older and more worn, if that's correct. Usually, less repair than the road that you were on to and from the inn, if you'd ever needed to travel to any of the local towns. The woods are also very wrong to you.
Can I make a history check to know if my dad told me any story about swamps, particularly this swamps?
Sure.
My character, Fulgar, literally just goes, this isn't right. But doesn't seem to be able to explain more.
Douglas, nothing in your father's teaching has prepared you for this place. It does not look at all familiar to you. It's no place you've ever been before, and it's nothing that you've ever heard described before.
I look to the Fogon and say, I think you were a little bit scared when the fire started, but you still are all white. Why are you like that? And I kind of touch his skin.
Well, I immediately move away on contact. It's just the color I am.
You're too white. I thought you was like...
Well, you're too short.
Well, I don't know.
Davos, are you racist? Is that what this is?
Are you against white?
I thought he was ill. I thought he was white because he was like without eating or scared or something. I'm not a racist.
No, I was born this color.
All right. So who said they were trying to look at the front of the wagon?
Fulgar.
Okay. Fulgar, as you twist your head around after talking to the gnome, twist your head around to actually look out front, you see the following. You see a large gate of some kind. It looks very ancient. Fog is spilling out over the forest to swallow up most of the road behind you, obscuring half of the wagons that are trailing behind. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable-looking woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew is still clinging with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now laying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
I'd like to make a. Can I make a history check? Because I have a stone cutting, which gives me a double proficiency bonus for looking at stonework.
Sure.
1 second.
Okay, I think I'm going to, since you said that, I'm going to go with the advantage roll and say something from the mists of your memory come back to you at this point as you gaze upon these large stone guardians. You have this tale that you remember, a horror tale that you might have heard as a child about this old lost land called Barovia, which is hidden somewhere in a demiplane, only accessible by, well, I guess you would call them, in our world we'd refer to them as gypsies, but the term that you've heard before, that you would have heard back then as your brain basically clicks this stuff all together, is Vistani, which actually would fit the description of the people you have found yourself with.
Can I take another action?
Sure.
I'd like to, and I don't know if I can do this, but can I hop out of the front carriage and move to the second one to see what happens when the first one goes through the gates?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to do that.
You just saw one of your everybody else has just seen one of their companions jump out the back of the wagon. The wagon continues on unimpeded through these gates, and the second wagon that you're now in, along with some startled, sorry, I'm having trouble pronouncing that for them. I'll get it. I will get it. Don't worry. Vistani makes it right through the gates without without any impediment or trouble. The fog seems to be swallowing up the rest of them, though. You don't really see them anymore. The further wagons behind all of you.
Davos is kind of thinking this is a really bad idea, and he kind of just says, "Hey guys, I'm a merchant. What are we doing? Let's head back. That doesn't look good."
Are you addressing this to the drivers?
Yep.
All right. One of the two men sitting up front says, "Oh, don't worry about it, friend. We're just bringing you to the nearest town, like we said."
Is this the way? Do you know the way?
Oh, of course. Been here lots of times. Just sit back and relax, and you'll be there soon.
For the record, my character is still snoring away peacefully, like oblivious to whatever is going on.
So would you guys like to do anything else before you hit the nearest town, or do you wish to, jump out of the wagons and try to get back past them?
I'm gonna stay near those two guys that said they know the way.
Yes. Okay, you're staying in the wagon.
The wagon, but I'm still staying on it.
What'd you say? I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm moving towards the back of the wagon, but I'm still on it.
Okay.
I want to sit up front in the second wagon that I'm in, so I can still see what's going on up front.
Okay. One of the women that's driving this wagon moves slightly to let you sit there. She grins at you.
Sorry, I missed that.
I said one of the women who is driving the second wagon scoots over to allow you to sit next to her, and she grins at you. She's just as garishly dressed as the men that you hopped into the wagon with.
All right, I'm gonna.
Do I see any gnome female?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do I see any gnome female?
Nope, they're all human.
Okay.
Or at least as human as you can, as they seem, human as you can tell. My cat is purring up a storm. Right. All right. So the wagon continues along down the road, eventually reaching a village. And here is where the wagon stops for the day. All right. Switching over to the description of the village. Okay, as you approach the village, you see tall shapes looming out of dense fog that surround everything. The ground is muddy, which you're now stepping on as you get out of the wagons. The muddy ground is giving way underfoot to slick and wet cobblestone as you actually enter into the village. The tall shapes now become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for the mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance. And, of course, the wagons that are still stopping in this village with you. Pretty much you just hear whoas as the horses come to a stop and disgorge people. The other people from the inn seem just as surprised and concerned and mystified as you do.
I'm going to hop off my wagon.
All right. Give me 1 second. I need to change maps. Unfortunately, my cat is trying to... Nope. Lyra, stop. Lyra, I need to move stuff. Okay.
Do we see an inn or a tavern?
Yeah, hold on. You guys have been disgorged at this one side of town. You don't see too many people through the mist. Hold on.
Just a real quick question like that. Would I have known what the name of the closest town was to the inn? The town we were supposed to go to?
Let's see. You roll knowledge. Did you roll knowledge local earlier? I'm sorry. I'm looking at your list now.
Yeah, I rolled an intelligence.
Yes. So yes, you would have heard like some random village. Let's see if I can find a random name for you. Like Elgran, like a village of Elgran, and this is clearly not that.
Okay, can I walk up to one of the drivers?
They seem to be getting ready to move on again, but the one of them looks down at you.
Yeah, so what happened to the village of Eldrin? Wasn't that supposed to be the next stop?
Oh, not for you. Not for you. He grins nastily. And he just kind of, snaps the reins and sets off with the wagon again, leaving you guys behind, including a now woken up Kitty, who has been disgorged onto the pavement.
Yeah, she would be kind of groggy.
That's great. I turn back to the group and walk back to the rest of the people.
So they just ditched us here and went away?
Yeah, and apparently this is obviously not the stop we were supposed to be heading to. They've ditched us somewhere, we have no clue where it is.
Hey, at least there's a tavern.
Can you try not to burn this one down?
I told you
Yes,
20
please.
times I didn't burn anything down. Thank you very much.
Do I see anybody on the streets?
No, not at this time. But you do still hear an echo of a mournful sob coming from somewhere. At the moment, your party is gathered approximately here on the map.
Oh, I'm not getting anything showing up.
Yeah, I just see a black square.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll
for us
fix that.
too.
My bad.
What did you say I was hearing? Sorry.
A mournful song.
You're standing. Okay, you guys are right over here. Hold on. You're hearing a mournful sob coming from somewhere, echoing throughout the through the various buildings.
Where are we?
Do you guys still see a black screen, or do you see a map?
No, I see the map, but I don't see if you're pinging it or not.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I'm in the right spot. Oh, because I'm a GM info overlay. I'm sorry. There we go.
So we're left at the entrance. Okay.
Yeah, you're left about there.
So how many of us, including the townspeople, are there? Because I don't think we're just 4 people.
No, but the others appear to be not interested in hanging out with you right now. There's any number of random people from the inn who the GM is saying, as GM I'm saying, these are basically on hold characters in case, we need one of the people that was supposed to join us today actually shows up for next time, saying that they're actually within that party.
Okay.
But
I thought like the barmaid and people like that were there too.
Well, it's possible some of them may have stayed behind to, with the inn, even though it was still burning, because it was like, they had to repair it or something like that, or, eventually
All
get
right. Yeah,
insurance
okay.
claim or something. Who knows?
All right. That's good.
All right. So what would you guys like to do? The rest of everybody else is milling around, doesn't seem to have any interest in particular in talking with you guys. It seems like you 4 are currently on your own.
I think it would be ill-advised just to go walking into the center of this town. So I think we should, take one of these side roads, like here or here, just kind of skirt around the outside. It's my opinion.
Why?
Is it flat, or is there like an area that's higher than another place?
Let's see. Let me look at the map. It looks like here and here are hilly, and you can see what looks like a churchyard in the distance. It appears to be somewhat on a hill. But for the rest of this, I would assume that this is all flat land.
All right.
Hey guys, how about we go to the tavern or an inn?
Yeah, I would probably be most interested in going to the tavern.
Which one's the tavern?
You can safely assume that there's probably a tavern in the middle of town. Places like this, center. It's actually this building over here. But center of town's probably your best bet to find a tavern in terms of what your characters would know.
Do we have to stay together?
No, but it is advisable that you stay together just because you're likely to die if you're by yourself, since I don't think these characters would care much if you're away and suddenly get attacked by something random. They don't know you well enough to care. But they pretty much, you don't start bonding until you start fighting as a group. And then maybe they come running to your defense. But for right now, it's not advisable that you wander off, because if you're attacked, you're kind of doomed.
Got it.
Yeah, knowing my strengths and weaknesses, I know that I'm kind of stuck to stick with the crowd, so I'm just lingering in the back of them.
Yeah, me too. And I say, hey guys, this is a pretty strange town. We don't know anything here. It's better if we stick together until we get to the tavern. Then we can do whatever we want.
All right. I'm gonna draw one of my hand axes and start walking down the street.
All right.
Whoa, calm down, dwarf.
Hey, I gotta be careful, man. I'm small. I gotta give off a big presence.
Yeah, now you look very threatening. In fact, as you walk down the street, you finally do see people kind of standing in alleyways, standing like in doorways occasionally, in between buildings. They look at you with.
I keep some good distance between, I stay like maybe like 10, 15 feet behind him, so I don't look like I'm part of his group.
They're looking at each of you with hollow, fear-filled eyes. In fact, some of them though are also looking at you with basically looks of astonishment. They're all human, so they're basically staring mostly at the two short people.
I walk to them.
You. Some of them are staring at you with open mouths.
I walk to them and say, "Hey, wanna buy a firebox?"
The one that you address immediately turns around and runs away.
I think they never said gnome before.
I'm gonna not angrily, but forcefully say, "What are you looking at?" to one of them.
They also turn around and start running away.
I'm personally kind of happy that the stairs aren't on me for once. Even my lifestyle.
People.
I think they run away because of your axe.
No, it's definitely my race.
The kitty kind of seems amused by it. She's not super fond of other races herself, so.
Oh, great.
See, kitty, I can scare people too. I don't need big armors and big weapons.
So eventually you make it into the center of what looks like the center of town, and you could definitely see that there is clearly an inn up there. There also appears to be some kind of let's see, what's that say? Some kind of establishment down there, possibly a warehouse, maybe a really nice store or shop, or perhaps it's just somebody's house decked out to look like one of those things. From what you can tell, there's also some kind of town. Yeah, there's just the townhouses and such down this way.
Sorry.
Sorry. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. I need to whisper to somebody because of their passive. Okay. You can tell that there's that building up here is most definitely a tavern. It's basically the right shape, the right size. Well, you don't really hear too much noise of laughter coming from there. You do hear. Sorry, somebody's thing keeps. That's mine. Never mind. All my problems. 1 second. Need to disconnect and reconnect. Yeah, I'm still stuck with that popping noise. Is somebody talking? I can't hear anything. Oh, it still says I'm connected. God damn it. I'm going to have to restart Discord. Be right back.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is like the first time I've had troubles with Discord for over a year, and I've had it for well over a year now.
Technology.
I always have problems with technology.
There is a sign hanging over the the tavern, reading "Blood of the Vine." However, that's what you assume it says. The N in Vine has actually been mostly scratched out, and an S has been put there in its place, making it seem like it's blood of the Vice. Can't pronounce it very well. This place looks like it was once finally a really nice tavern at one point, but over the years it has grown very shoddy.
I'm going to sheath my axe.
Since I see my race is not welcome in this town, I kind of want to peek through the window to see if there's anybody on the tavern.
Alright. The windows are fairly grimy, but you can make out some characteristics inside. You see that there is a small fire in the hearth over on one side, with a few people huddled close by it. They all appear to be human. One is a bartender just standing behind the bar close to the fire. There's three of those Vistani type people, you can tell from the garish dress, gathered around a table. And there seems to be a young man with golden hair, sitting at the bar, he's got a glass in his hand, and he appears to be, well, you can't really tell too much about him from here. You just know he's hunched over the bar, drinking, huddled by the fire. They're all definitely human.
Guys, I have an idea. Since dwarves and gnomes are not welcome in this racist town, we could pretend we are a family. Katie is the mother, the devil guy is the dad, and I'm like a little baby.
I am totally not good with this.
Neither am I.
Wait a second.
You probably have to save the dwarf to do that,
No, wait. No, wait. I have a. What if we went into one of these? You said there was like a store somewhere. Let's get a trench
coat. It looks like it might be a store of some kind. You can't.
All right, let's see if we can find and buy a trench coat, and you can sit on my shoulders, and we can look like one person.
I knew you were gonna say
that's
that.
It's a good idea.
Can we do that?
You can try. It really depends on what that building actually is.
I'm a good liar, so I think we're good, dwarf.
Yeah, and I can be a pair of legs.
All right. So you guys are heading to the south building, huh?
Yes.
All right.
I like this plan.
All right. You see a man standing behind the counter. This is most definitely a shop of some kind. He claps his hands together as he sees you, and he doesn't look as scared as those other people had upon seeing a dwarf and a gnome. Instead, he kind of slides out from behind his counter and comes over to you. Well, what do we have here? Are you
perfectly normal human?
He kind of waves his hand. Are you by chance? Sorry, I keep pausing anytime I hear background noise. Are you by chance halflings? He inquires.
Sorry, say that again.
Are you by chance halflings? He inquires of the gnome and the dwarf.
Are we not in our human position? I'm like on top of him, and we're like.
There's no trench coat yet. You guys were going to the shop to buy a trench coat to do that.
Yes, you're not talking to the guy that owns this place. He's the guy that owns the shop, the rather large shop. 70 feet by 40.
I'm gonna say, we might be. What do you have for sale here?
Well, pretty much anything you can desire. He puts out a flourishing hand, and you see basically items of adventuring gear, but only things that you would find in the book for adventuring gear that are 25 GP or lower. The prices, however, on them show that they're being sold for 10 times their normal price.
Oh, great.
As a merchant, I say, this is completely absurd.
But
Why is this so?
This is what the people pay, my friend. This is what people pay. Now, if you have anything interesting on you, I might buy it from you. Maybe we can make a deal. Jeff?
He's suggesting what?
I think somebody was trying to say something and they got cut off.
Oh, I said, can you repeat what he's offering to buy?
He's basically saying he's willing to, if you're willing to make a deal, like, show him something interesting, and maybe he'll deal with you. Maybe he'll make a deal for something you want. But
then I'm gonna pull out the firebox. Say, hey, check out this right here. It's pretty cool, right? I'm pretty sure you don't know what it is.
Hey, I made that.
Yeah, that guy over there made it. It's really mysterious. I think you should buy it from me.
Does it look anything like a a normal tinderbox, or does it look?
Huh?
What exactly is its appearance? Does it look anything like a tinderbox, or does it look like something completely unique compared to a tinderbox?
I think it's unique because it's made by me.
Your rock gnomes have like a tinker skill that they can make like little things with, like music boxes and stuff.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, he looks it over and starts going, this is interesting. Let's see, I'm not sure how to price that since it would act a bit like a tinderbox, but since it actually looks fancy to this guy, he probably wouldn't price it anything like a tinderbox.
I'll say, like, why don't we trade for it? I'm in the market for a really long trench coat.
A trench coat, you say?
Yes.
Well, I have some nice common clothes over here. He puts out a hand. That would be for 50 silver pieces. You can probably buy that. You think that this is worth 50 silver?
I mean, I'd say more. I paid 2 gold for it.
Let's see. In this game, it's persuasion, isn't it?
Yep. Unless he's bluffing.
I also have intimidation. I don't know if we might want to use that.
I want to help him in the deal.
Yeah, decide
you were holding your axe to his throat.
I kind of walk up to him.
Okay.
I walk up to him and say, hey, you'd never see a gnome before. You know, if you rub my head, you have like 10 years of good fortune. But I'm only going to let you rub my head if you take the deal.
You're going to have to roll a persuasion check on him.
I think that would be more bluff at this point.
Okay.
Oh, persuasion is bluff in 5th edition, isn't it?
Deception and deception.
Or deception, yeah. Oh, deception, sorry. So I was thinking persuasion from the other one.
Deception?
Yeah, deception is bluff, and persuasion is diplomacy.
So we're going for deception, right?
Yep.
Got it.
Now, what was the deception that Randy was using?
I was saying that it's worth, since I paid 2 gold for it, it's definitely worth at least 2 gold.
guess I'm missing something on the conversion from silver to gold in this game. What is the conversion rate between silver and gold in fifth edition?
I think
10.
It's 10.
So he was actually offering this for 5 gold.
Oh, never mind.
So 2 gold worth of. I was about to say, I'm thinking I'm missing something.
I didn't. Yeah, sorry, I was confused there for a second. Yeah, no, never mind. I think 50 silver is a good deal.
50 silver. Yes. That's how much this costs. He points again to the trench coat.
That's
And you
a worth
say-
deal, man.
And you say you only bought your box there for 20 silver. So you would still have to give me 30 plus the box if you wish the coat.
Oh, I kind of screwed myself over there, didn't I?
Yep.
That's totally because my character's dumb, I swear. It's not because I actually messed up, guys. I'm just role-playing it really well.
It's fine. I've seen some barbarians play at intelligence of 6 amazingly.
Yes.
For life.
So Davos, is there anything you can do?
Yeah. Do you want to rub my head, guy? Take the deal. Did he fall for the deception we made?
He didn't fall for your deception because he was suspicious of you already. Therefore, you'd be rolling disadvantage on that. But so he refuses to rub your head. But so he's basically decided that he believed Randy's story, and Randy claimed 2 gold pieces, which is the equivalent of 20 silver, and he's selling the trench coat for 50 silver. So he's still waiting for you to give him 30 silver plus that box.
I'm going to intimidate him.
All right. How do you wish to intimidate him?
I'm going to grab him by the bottom of his shirt because I'm not tall enough to grab him by his collar. And I'm going to pull him down to my level and say, listen here, I need that trench coat. I'm giving you a really cool box. Go ahead and hand it over.
The man makes a grimace and calls out, Whipple, get out here! And suddenly, this rather large-looking man just kind of wanders out from the back. He's got an apron draped over himself, and he looks like he could lift 2 of you.
I'm already taking my distance. I'm like, nope, not my problem.
Davos, you ready to throw in 15 silver pieces for this?
Yeah. I kind of take my 15 silver pieces and just throw it on the balcony and say, no, we don't mean no trouble here. We just want the trench coat and we're going out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss him. I'm gonna toss in an extra 5 silver pieces just because I don't want him to send this guy after me.
Yeah, the big guy comes up next to the man that you were throttling a moment ago, and just kind of stares down at you as you guys can take the trench coat off of the rack.
Awesome. I could have gone better. And
You probably picture Fulgar slow clapping in the background, silently.
Kitty, do you have any?
And Kitty, who's been standing by the door the whole time, just watching this idiocy go down. She kind of cocks her head to the side and says, "What's with the crying outside?"
The man who was the guy who's the shopkeeper here, kind of straightens himself up after being manhandled by a dwarf, and looks over at Kitty. Oh, crying? He kind of cocks his head to the side. Oh, that happens a lot. Mad Mary's at it again.
Mad Mary?
Oh, yes. But don't pay her any mind.
Who's that?
Oh, well, I guess you can call her a overprotective mother.
Why is she crying?
Oh, she's been crying. She's been crying for a week now. Oh, of course her daughter went missing, that's what they say, but don't give her any mind.
Her daughter went missing? Wonder if she'd pay money for someone to find her.
Oh, undoubtedly. But I imagine you should be getting out of my shop now. He kind of gives the dwarf and the gnome a look, and then kind of motions his head towards the hulk of a man standing nearby.
Can you tell me where her house is real quick before you evict us?
It's the townhouse almost directly south of the shop. That's the source of the crying.
So like next door?
Yeah, pretty much almost next door. There's like a small little structure in between here and there, but it's almost next door.
I'm gonna offer the big hulking guy a high five before we leave.
The big hulking guy doesn't seem to recognize what the high five is for, and is just staring at you.
I'm just gonna leave now.
I'm kind of curious about this crying woman. Is she crying inside a house or something?
It seems that, but 1 second. Does the tiefling wish to add anything here?
I'm letting them talk first, and I'm gonna add something afterwards.
Okay. Because you guys have now just left the shop after you saw what went down there. The fact that they got hosed on having to pay a lot of money for a trench coat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, less money than we would have had to because we gave them the box. So we had small victories.
And
I'm like slowly heading back to the inn.
Let's form our pyramid now.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and hop up on my shoulders.
You're a strong dog. I think you can carry me.
Yeah, definitely.
I hop on his shoulder and I put on the trench coat.
So you look like a man with a little baby head.
Yeah, and his arms aren't reaching his whole way through. So this is literally the two 12-year-olds trying to get in the cinema scenario.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thought when I first came up with the idea.
Vincent Adultman.
Yeah.
Yep. Of course, they had 3 children pretending to be an adult, but still. So, where do you wish to go next? Are you heading towards the sound of the crying woman, or are you heading towards the inn first?
I was heading towards the inn.
Oh, sorry, tavern. Sorry, not inn, tavern. Sorry. I'm used to calling inns taverns and taverns inns, so...
Kitty's kind of torn between checking out the crying and going to the tavern, because both of them could be work, but she'll go whichever.
Well, I thought Kitty was already in the doorway of the inn.
No, she was
standing there watching you in the shop.
Okay.
She was the one that was inquiring of the shopkeeper about the crying.
About this first. Maybe there's more people that went missing.
She's kind of following you because you guys look like you're a train wreck waiting to happen, so.
I'm them precariously, but I'm trying not to be associated to them.
How convincing do we look in this right now?
Which one of you is on top again?
Let me see about rolling a deception check here.
That would be the gnome on top.
So, gnome, roll disguise.
Oh, I have a disguise kit, FYI. I'm a charlatan.
Well, that would be a great time to use it.
Yeah, so I'll just
Technically,
give
no
that.
doubt.
I'll just give that to you, Davos, so you can use it.
But you'd have to use it for him because you have proficiency with using it.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
you roll a d20 plus your proficiency bonus.
Strangely
So
enough, the ruse seems to be working as you enter the tavern.
He's pulled out somewhere like two like large forks to imitate hands. Something.
Wow. All right.
yeah, this is my war buddy. He lost both of his hands in battle. Don't make fun of him; it hurts his feelings.
All
right. As you actually enter into the into the tavern, you have a better view of the people that are inside. The bartender is a pudgy little man. He is standing there behind the bar, a blank look in his eyes, just seemingly mindlessly wiping the same glasses over and over again in a row. He doesn't seem to be all there. Sitting at the bar is a young man with golden yellow hair, slightly curly at the ends, mostly wavy. There's actually a picture here of him. And he's just hunched over his glass. At a nearby table are three garishly dressed women that you can recognize to be Vistani. They do not appear to be any of the ones that were with you as you entered into this region.
I want to whisper to Davos, hey, give me a beer.
Wait,
Gonna hand a beer to his crotch. That's gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna walk over to the bar.
The man just stares at you with those empty eyes.
I don't think he's going to realize this.
Wine, a glass of wine for 1 copper. You want a pitcher? 1 silver.
I want an ale.
Pitcher.
A
He kind of
pitcher.
stops cleaning glasses, turns around, and pours out a pitcher of dark red wine and sets it in front of you. 1 silver.
Do you have ale?
1 silver. His voice doesn't change. That's his name.
I put 2 silvers on the balcony, and I hold one, and I say, "Do you have ale?"
Wine.
Okay. I give him the 1 silver.
He takes the silver and turns back to his cleaning of already cleaned glasses.
Kitty kind of eyes the wine and asks, "It's not that elven crap, is it?"
He looks blankly at her. Wine costs 1 copper per glass. 1 silver per pitcher.
She just puts the silver on the bar and takes the pitcher.
He fills up another pitcher. At this point, the man who's been nursing his drink looks up and over at you. He's sitting at the bar.
I take like the pitcher of wine and like go to a little corner and like put it inside the trench coat and serve a glass to the dwarf.
He's not really paying much attention to the antics of the trench wonder over there, but he is looking over at Kitty and the tiefling. Are you standing there with her, or are you doing something else?
I was about to move up to the bar and put down a copper for.
All right. The bartender doesn't even blink. He just kind of fills up a small glass of wine and hands it to you while taking the copper. The young man sets aside his drink and says, "You're strangers here. When did you come into Barovia?"
Like an hour ago?
He sighs softly and looks over at a table nearby. Care to join me? He asks.
Kitty kind of glances at the bartender and picks up the pitcher. I guess if you're a little bit more conversation than this fellow.
He looks over at the bartender. Oh, don't mind Eric. He's always like that.
You like hit his head or something?
He's been like that as long as I've known. He moves his glass over to a nearby table, not realizing that the other two are in your party. He's basically just motioning towards Kitty and isn't sure if the tiefling is with her or not, but there's enough room at the table for the tiefling as well, and of course the pair if they wish to get up and join his table as well.
Yeah, Kitty kind of plops down and starts drinking the pitcher as if it were just an oversized mug.
He kind of stares at her for a moment and just shakes his head.
I want to investigate the liquid inside first before drinking it.
All right.
What is this man carrying? What is he wearing? Is he carrying any weapon?
I'm answering a question with the liquid first. The liquid looks like it's just some sort of red wine. It kind of smells like maybe it's a lesser kind of wine. If there are different formulas, this is like the weakest of whatever wines are there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like nothing too exciting. Nothing that you recognize from the taste or smell of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip it slightly, just see what it tastes like. Not I'm precarious about the drink. I'm suspicious about it. I at first thought it might have been blood. So.
No, it's definitely wine. Definitely tasted grapes, but it's not quite vinegar. But it's definitely low end wine.
It's like Bud Light.
I walk up to the blonde guy and say, hey, where can I rent a horse to get out of this town? A human-sized horse.
He kind of frowns. Well, unfortunately, I don't think that anybody who even has a horse would be willing to rent them to you.
Is leaving so hard?
Well, it's just that nobody really has anything. Anybody who has a horse is using it. He frowns and just sips his wine.
I've since finished the wine. I'm going to pass a silver piece up to Davos, indicating that he should get another one.
I walk up to the bartender and get another wine and put it inside my trench coat.
He doesn't even bat an eye. He clearly sees you doing that, but he doesn't bat an eye. It wasn't for the fact he was breathing in and out. You would suspect he was a statue. So
what is the blonde guy wearing?
He's wearing this normal commoner clothes from the look of it.
Is there any inn in this town? I ask him.
Let's see. So Blood of the Vine also an inn. Let me double check. I don't think so. In fact, I remember reading that. He starts shaking his head. I'm afraid you won't find any easy place here like that.
Could you please remind me, what is this place? What is this town?
This is the village of Barovia. He kind of sips his wine again.
Is there a president, a governor, a king, anything here?
hold on, let's get the right word. A burgomaster, he sighs, but that won't help. My father died 3 days ago.
Why did he die?
His heart gave out. He shakes his head and puts another copper on the bar to get another drink. I really need to bury him, but nobody wants to help me and my sister.
Do you have a house here?
Of course.
Well, I could help you if you in your house for a couple of days.
You'd be willing to help my sister and I out? Bring our father to the church for burial? He's too heavy to lift on our own, and nobody else would help.
I'm going to nudge him on the leg to indicate that it's a bad idea to do this.
Just a second, okay? And I'm gonna walk up to the corner and just like stick my head inside the trench coat. I'm like, why is it a bad idea, man?
Do you think that we can actually do a sort of like manual labor for this guy without revealing who we actually are?
I think he doesn't really care. His father just died 3 days ago. I think we can reveal just for him.
All right, let's hop on off.
I wouldn't notice that.
So you think we should actually reveal ourselves right now?
Just for him. I think it's okay.
Is there anyone else in the bar?
Yep, there's 3 women wearing garish clothes, watching from another sitting at another table, and of course there's the bartender. But the bartender doesn't seem to be the type that should talk about anything.
Well, I guess if they are the type of women that were the people that had driven us in here, they didn't seem to be too racist, so we might be able to get away with it.
I have an idea. I could like say some mumbo jumbo spell thing, and I'm like divide in 2, and you're like we're like the same guy but divided. That's why we're half the size.
Oh, I like it. I like that.
And they're gonna believe we're just a powerful wizard.
That's a great idea.
I hear them talking.
Roll. Let's see. What's your? I know you passed the perception text earlier. Make a. I guess perception is the right one in this one. So there's no like listen. But you hear some mumbling, but you can't make it out. You have no idea what they're actually talking about. You just know that they're talking to each other.
Alright.
So I'm gonna walk up to the center of the tavern and just like say some mystical words out of my head and just throw some words in common like clone, divide, half a man inside all of these mumbo jumbo things that I'm saying, and I'm just gonna
Hold on a second. Need to look at something. Let's see. You hear some rather raucous laughter coming from the 3 women as you do this. The young man you've been talking to, however, looks rather astonished.
2 hands are better than 1, or 2 sets of hands are better than 1.
He isn't sure what to say and kind of like looks at a loss at the 2 of them. And looks over at the tiefling and Kitty to see what their reaction is to this show.
Kitty just kind of shrugs and like glances at him. She's kind of been staring back at the Vistani for the time And she's like, you just need muscle, right?
I just look at him. I
the-
look at his reaction. I cock an eyebrow. I'm like, "What? Never saw a short person before?"
The young man kind of shakes his head. I'm not sure what you are, but I've never seen your kind before. And then he looks back over at Kitty and says, "Yes, my sister and I desperately need some help."
We are
You never
human
seen
wizards.
dwarf before? They like to light things on fire, but they're fairly harmless otherwise.
Oh, there are no dwarves in Barovia.
We're not dwarves.
What
We're
is a
one
dwarf?
human being
I'm a
that's
human.
like split into two people. Like, come on, man. Have you ever seen this before? It's magic.
I have seen magic before, and I guess nothing should be surprising me anymore after what's happened. But still, I've never seen one of your kind before, nor such a spell as that.
We're very special.
Special is quite the word.
I guess Kitty would lower her voice a little and be like, "What's with the people wearing all the funny clothes?"
He looks at her, looks over at the Vistani, and says, "Oh, they own this place, the tavern."
I mean, they gave us a ride here, but
Others of their kind, you mean?
I guess they were wearing the same crazy colors.
Yeah, sometimes that's how new people get into Barovia. It's said that only Vistani can get in and out of Barovia.
Only that.
Great, so we're going to have to ask them to take us out of here?
Unfortunately, I don't think that'll work. As far as I know, no one's ever ridden back out with the Vistani.
Wait, so we were just kidnapped?
He
Quite
finishes
literally.
his glass of wine and says, "Yeah, I think so."
Awesome.
At that point, Fulgar pulls off the hood, and you see the two ivory horns sticking up from his.
This makes the young man kind of push back from the table with wide eyes.
Right. Hey, the horns are only there to hold the halo. And then I use minor image, my cantrip minor image, to make a halo appear on top of the horns.
All right. He seems to settle down after that. I would have thought that such an image would be for a new devil in these lands, but he kind of smiles. Perhaps you've been asked here to help me, to help my sister.
I kind of need to go now. I planned this for 3 hours of playing. I'm sorry, I didn't know we were gonna play longer.
Oh no, that's fine. 3 hours is actually a good time. I actually wrote down in my thing for from longer, but that's all because I'm used to that. But we can easily work around 3 hours if that's cool with the rest of you. Since next time we'll start off with helping this guy out. For this time for the summer, the time is still going to be the same. Is that okay with you guys? Sunday afternoons.
Okay for me.
Sunday afternoons work for me too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's only gonna be start for the summertime. After that, we'll have to find a new time because I'm usually making Sunday dinner. But for right now, I've arranged to do Sunday lunch or Sunday breakfast instead.
I'll keep in touch because there might be a weekend I might not be able to this month.
Okay. And if that's the case, we'll work around it. But just post it to Roll20 and we'll take care of the rest. Okay.
Yeah, well, Sundays work for me right now. Just for the summer, because I don't have any work.
Okay. Take care.
Yep.
See you guys.
See ya.
Next game.